All right, welcome everybody. So we are here to learn about Screencastify. What I would encourage you to do, if you haven't already, if you have the Chrome web browser and you'd like to kind of try this while we go, you can, I encourage you to visit screencastify.com. Now I'm gonna open up a different browser window. And I'm gonna actually take Screencastify off. And then that way, we'll just start from scratch. So screencastify.com, it's a Chrome extension. And when you visit this website, it will know if it's installed on your Chrome browser or not. And so you'll have the option, if you don't have it, it'll give you the option to add to Chrome. If you already have it installed, like on this particular Chrome account of mine, it'll say already installed. So when you click add to Chrome, it's going to pop open a website to the Chrome Web Store. Now, I'm presuming that you are signed in with your Division Google account. And if you're not sure, you can visit google.ca and just double check what you're signed into. Or you can look in the top of your Chrome browser and just verify that it's your school division email. Because what that will do when it connects to your Google account, it will offer to save all those videos to your Google Drive. And when you are using your education, Google for Education account, Google for Education will not, they will not data mine all of your documents and files in Google Drive and your messages, etc., like they do with the free accounts, your free Gmail accounts. And so that is a good reason to use your district account with this. So I'm just going to hit add to Chrome, and then this little message. Yeah, you sure can. Question, can we do this now while you're talking? Absolutely. Some people like to kind of minimize the Zoom screen and just listen and tune back and forth. So you can just click on add extension when you're prompted. And then what you'll see in a few moments after it downloads and installs is in the upper right-hand corner of your screen in your Chrome browser, you will, there it is. It will show right there. There it is. It's kind of a salmon colored arrow with a little video camera icon in the middle of it. Now, the first time you click on it, it will present you with an option to sign into Google. And there's another because I've done this already, it's maybe just prompting me here. You may already see a screen on your page that says, hey, we're taking you through step 1, step 2, step 3. So I'm sorry that that's not showing up here. But basically what it's going to want to do, whether you see it on my screen or not, it's going to want to sign you into a Google account. It's going to also ask permission to use your microphone and your camera. It's also going to ask you permission in those Google Drive, in the Google settings, to be able to access your Google Drive. Because what it's going to do is going to create a folder on your Google Drive called Screencastify. And the moment you save your moment you finish your first video, it's just going to automatically put it in that folder. Super handy. Wow, since we started, we've got almost 20 more people. This is great. We're in the mid-90s now. So sorry if I made some of you rush back from lunch or whatever you were doing. Welcome. For those people who were not here when we first started the session, we visited screencastify.com and we clicked to add that Chrome extension. That's the first one. Yours is taking a very long time. Yeah, it's hard to say how long it will take. Usually doesn't take too long. Clicking that link will send you to the Screencastify Chrome Web Store link, and it will prompt you to install it. It says it's checking. Okay, well, be patient with it. It's certainly something you can come back to another time. If it's already installed, where is it? So in the Chrome browser, you'll see in the upper right-hand corner now, there is a kind of a salmon-colored arrow. That's the icon for Screencastify. That's how you create new ones. It's also how you can find previously recorded videos. So that is where we can find all the settings. So that's step number 1. How's everybody doing with that? will it show on other devices? Yeah, well, the beautiful thing is in your Chrome account, um, just be patient, Angela. It may show up there very shortly, or if you have a whole bunch of extensions already, you might want to look sort of at that um, 3 dots or some of the menus towards the right-hand side to see if there are more extensions that are hidden somewhere. Now, will it show on other devices? Yeah, so if you have your Google account, your Chrome account set to synchronize those extensions, usually it will prompt you to do that on any time you sign into the Chrome browser on a new device. So if you have a different computer you use, you sign into the Chrome browser on that, be it a Chromebook or a Windows computer or a Mac computer that has the Chrome browser, both of them, then you can see that that extension will just automatically follow you around, as will all your others. Okay, wonderful. For Nella, it finally loaded. Okay, that's good news. It may take a little bit depending on your computer, but you want to see that little pink, that salmon colored icon. All right, I'm going to hop into my other account here that it already has configured with. Okay, great. Some people are saying it's taking a little bit of time. There are a lot of people that are using this particular account. 3 days left in the trial. You're on a school account. All right, so this is, let's just, before we get into how to use Screencastify, let's go right in now to find out how you can get that trial lifted so that it will extend that pro account so you won't have a limit of 5-minute videos. And how you do that is you've got a couple of ways you can do it. But if you're in Screencastify right now, you can go into pricing. Now, if you are somewhere else, if you can just click on this Screencastify icon, and what you will probably see when that thing loads up at the very top of the screen, it'll say, hey, you've got the free version, which will limit you to 5 minutes. Click here to upgrade. So do you see any of those things? Either way, you can also hit this little menu when you open your Screencastify. This little box pops up, and the little 3 lines, some people call it the pancake stack or the hamburger menu. You click it, choose on my subscription. Either way you do it, it's going to take you back to that kind of that pricing page, and you will hopefully see an option if you just find that pricing, the option to upgrade to the unlimited. Okay. And there's a code we can put in that such that you can get all these features unlocked, at least for the next month. And they have said that if school is, interrupted beyond that, they may extend that after the end of April. Yeah, a lot of companies have stepped up to offer some of their services for free that they would normally charge for. Now, what you would see here is the education discounts. It's 29 bucks US. I actually have paid for it for a couple of years. It's actually worth it, to be honest. So if you, but hey, why pay for anything right now? So here is the code. So we're going to go get started, and then under the user and subscribe, we're going to, it'll take you to the subscription page. And what you can do is click, this is my paid one. So what you can do is look for that promo code. I'm going to type it in here. Has anybody used it? It's cast_COVID, all in, you can see it in the text chat now, and it is all caps. So cast_COVID, you can type in that and then hit update, and then it'll just say, instead of $49, it'll say $0. It'll also give you the next billing date or the kind of when it ends. It might say sometime in April. Fear not, if school is interrupted past April, in all likelihood, they will extend it beyond April. And if they don't, you may consider it to be worthwhile to purchase at 29 bucks US a year. So that's up to you. I'm not here to sell you anything, and free is always better. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started with using Screencastify. Let's say I have a website that I want to show my students how to use. I'm going to find that website, and this is a great time for me to promo. Where do we put the code? So visit screencastify.com, Kyla, and on that page, look for the pricing button. And once you find the pricing button on that screencastify page.com/buy, it's where the pricing is. Click on get the pink kind of salmon color, get started under the unlimited $49. Don't worry. On that page, there's a redeem code, cast_COVID. If you look up in the text chat, you'll see it's all capitalized. And there it is. Thank you, everybody else, for helping each other out with this. I'm going to move on now to the next part. Let's find a great website. We want to do a little screen recording. We want to introduce this to students, tell them what we want them to do with it. So this is going to be a time where I'm going to promo our ATA library, because for those of you who remember the tolearn.ca days, ToLearn is no longer, but they had some awesome websites organized by Alberta Curriculum. And in their final year of operation, tolearn.ca merged into the Alberta Teachers Association. And we have all those websites. They were generous enough to share those with us. We have them now in our library database system. So I put the link in the text chat for the ATA library. If it's of interest, you can click on, we're going to do a recording here in a second, Elan, so give me one moment. So those ToLearn links are either in the subject guides, the topic guides, or the seasonal guides on this page. So I'm going to go into the subject guides, and let's say there is a grade 5 science electricity and magnetism website I want to look for. I'm going to scroll down until I find science K-6. It'll give you the different grades. These are all Alberta curriculum. All right, grade 5, find electricity and magnetism. And here are some websites you can use. And so let's say this website, electric circuits, I want to share with the students. All right. Nope, that link is dead. Okay, let's try another one. So this is a static electricity. This is a static electricity activity. So at any point, if I want to start my screen recording in Screencastify, here's what you do. I'm going to click on the salmon colored Screencastify. And by the way, I'm going to stop my video because my camera can't be used in 2 places at once. So I'm going to click the Screencastify, watch it pop open there. All right, here is where some options are. Now, in this case, I do want to record my desktop. I want my microphone. I want my webcam. You don't have to turn on your webcam. There are a lot of teachers that are like, no, thank you. I don't really want anybody to see my face. I will say this, your students probably want to see you. They probably miss you. And so think about that, but you can turn that off and on as you choose. It will choose a default microphone. You can see the little, do you see my screen, how the little levels are popping up as I'm talking? So that's good. But if you have more than one camera and more than one microphone, you can switch that if you wish to. Check out the more options. It'll give me a 3-second countdown. There are some drawing tools that will allow me to mark up my screen with ink, circle stuff if I want to. Now, what it'll also do is system audio. That is where you have a website or something on your computer that plays sound. Maybe it's a video file, maybe it's a YouTube video, maybe it's another website that has sounds. This will capture that sound. So if you wanted to show them a YouTube video and pause it every once in a while and talk about it, super, go for it. Just click on keep that system audio going. All right. Now you have another option to just do a straight up webcam recording. That's if you just want to do a straight up video message through your webcam. But in this case, I do want to do the desktop. The browser tab will take less kind of resources off of it'll be less it'll taxing on your computer, but it'll only do, see how I have like 6 or 7 tabs open right now, 6 of them? It'll only do one at a time. And so if I choose one and then I switch over to another one, it's not going to necessarily just start recording that other one. Whereas when I record the desktop, not only will it record any tab that I'm in, but even if I, pull up a PowerPoint or pull up a video file or a PDF document or anything else, it will just record whatever I have on my screen. So let's try that again. Now that I've set that I want to do this desktop, got the settings how I want them, and ready, here we go. When I do this, it's you're not going to see this next part. It's on my other screen, but if you have more than one screen, it will ask you to choose. And then it'll give me my 3-second countdown here shortly. See it? 2, 1. All right, this is the balloon and static electricity simulation. You can run it when you get to this website by clicking the little plus, and it will really help you learn about electricity and static electricity in particular. So at the bottom of your Screencastify page, there is a stop sharing button. So as soon as I click that at the bottom, it's going to stop the recording. And if you give it a few seconds, a new tab is going to pop up in your browser here any minute. So this is Screencastify Hard at Work. After you click stop, depending on how long your video has taken, up will pop your screen recording. Here it is. It's muted by default. Let me unmute it. So you can look through it, see if it's what you like. Now here is what is happening. As we have started watching this, automatically it is uploading it. It's already finished uploading it to our Google Drive. We have several different sharing options, and we can even download it. So I'm just going to go up here to this title bar here. I'm just going to give it a name. You don't have to. If you want to keep it untitled and then whatever, it'll just capture the date and time. But if you want to give it a name, that's wonderful. Now you can use these little scissors buttons here to trim off the beginning, the end. Oh yeah, it's only muted. The question on, well, it's muted by default. It did capture the sound because I did say that in my Screencastify when I was about to record it. I did say capture microphone. So it did capture that audio. It's just when it's playing it back to us right after, for whatever reason, by default, they just keep that sound muted. You can click it to unmute, but it's not actually, like I've clicked it to mute down here, but there is still sound. I can just unmute it and just play. All right, this is, and then there you go. So the sound is there. It's just muted but it's not actually taking away that sound. It's just stopping it from playing on your speakers at that moment. Now, depending on what you want to do, you've got some options. Google Classroom people in the house, if you want, you've got a share to classroom button straight away. If I hit that, it's going to pop open a window. It's going to say, which Google Classroom do you want this in? You pick which one, and then you want to turn that into an assignment. Maybe it's just an announcement or a material. Hit go, and it's going to pop it right into your, here's the video file, here's your material posting. You can add in your other details on that and hit post, and it pops it right in your Google Classroom for you. Now, if you are not using Google Classroom, or if you don't like the idea of posting it straight into Google Classroom, maybe you're using Microsoft Teams, maybe you're using D2L Brightspace, maybe you're using some other tool to share your class materials. You can just click this, copy shareable link. It is now allowing that video to be viewed by those with that link, and it's copied it to your clipboard. So wherever you are, maybe you are in Google Classroom, you just go into your Google Classroom that you want, into my classwork. I can create a material if I want to, and then I can just add a link. And I'm just going to paste that in there, Control-V. So there it is in there, it's processing it. Now these videos, when they upload to Google Drive, the file is called a Webcam file. It takes a couple of minutes to render that video such that it is viewable. So chances are by the time you fill out this post and post it, it will be viewable. But there are times where it may take a few minutes for that video to render. Now, another option is right from within Screencastify. If you're a YouTuber, you want to publish stuff straight to YouTube, it will give you a lot of those options straight away here. You want it to be private, public, or unlisted. A lot of times people want their videos to be unlisted, where they don't want people to necessarily search them, but they do allow people with that YouTube link to be able to view it. So you can upload it straight to YouTube if you want to. There are some more options here. For example, you can download that video. Now, for those of you who are unsure about where you're sharing this file and maybe that WebM file by default, if you hit download, it's going to download that WebM file. Now, MPEG-4, MP4 is a version of video file that plays on pretty much everything. So if you really want to be sure that it's going to play wherever they see it, you just click export as MP4. I'm not really sure what that fixed frame rate really means. Some of you in this chat might know it better than me. I'm going to hit export. It'll just prepare it to download. And after about a minute or so, it's going to give you a little download link. You can download that MP4 file. And you can save it where you want and then do whatever you want with it. So most people like to keep it in their Google Drive and copy that link and share the link. Some people like to share to Classroom or this. Can you theoretically embed that onto a website? Yes, you can. If you have a different website, you want to just copy that embed code and use that. Don't worry about that if you're not if you don't have your own website. So that is up to you. And that is really the basics of Screencastify. So it is a really easy tool to use. It saves directly to your drive, doesn't it? Yes, it does. In fact, let's go there right now. I'm going to visit my Google Drive, drive.google.com. And there is automatically a folder that's created in there called Screencastify. And every video that you save in Screencastify will pop right into here. But when those videos pop in here, they're not necessarily shared viewable by anybody else. And that's why when you click this copy shareable link, it turns on that link sharing such that anybody who had that link would in fact be able to view it. They would have that privilege. It just kind of does that in two steps, or two things in one step actually. It makes it viewable, and then it also copies it to your clipboard where you can paste it in. So how can I use this? Well, if you want to do a straight up morning message, I'm going to just mute my video. You can go into, really it doesn't matter what tab you go into, you can just do a straight up webcam only and record. And I'll show you what that looks like here. Oh, it's actually showing it on this other screen. There we go. Hello, boys and girls. This is my webcam recording, and it's really lovely to see you today. So I can pause that, I can hit stop, and then as soon as I hit stop, it'll just take a moment, and very shortly that other video details screen should pop open. So whether you want to record your desktop or just your webcam, it's very easy to do. There we go. There's that screen. I didn't do anything. It just popping it open automatically. Again, it's muted, but there is sound. Now, you know what? I ended up screwing up the first part of this. So I want to cut off the first 3 seconds of that video. So look at the little scissors on this editing place here. I can click on the scissors. So I want to just drag these scissors over to that 3-second mark and just start it from there. In fact, maybe even just a tiny bit more. So if I get it how I like, I click Save Trim, and I'll trim that video. So that is pretty easy. That's really all there is to it. I'll demonstrate in a moment for those of you who want to see it. There are drawing tools that you can use as well that will let you mark up your whole screen and let you students see your mouse. All right, we've seen enough of that. So there's that same piece here, no problem, for what you want to do with that video. Let's take a look at, let's say I want to mark up this page. I want to do a little screen recording. I will click on Screencast. I'm going to do my desktop. Let's go into more options this time. I'm going to show those drawing tools. They're going to appear in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, and I'm going to keep the system audio, and I will capture all of that. You ready? 3, 2, 1, here we go. There are those drawing tools. So here's my mouse, my focused mouse. And see that? That's what focused mouse is. That's pretty cool, hey? This is a hide the cursor. No, I don't want. I want to highlight the clicks. Watch this now. Highlight the clicks. I click on that. And everywhere I click on it, will kind of do a little bit of a red circle around it. And so anytime I'm ready to stop, I just hit stop. I guess what I did not show you is there was a little pencil right down here. And it would make it very easy for you to use that pencil and then mark up the screen. So it's very easy to do. There's an eraser tool there as well to erase that ink. And you trim the beginning and the end. Yes, there's a scissor at each end. In fact, there is a full video editor in here where you can cut and trim and do a whole bunch of stuff. We're not going to cover that in the beginner session here, but that is certainly possible. There is a whole video editor right in Screencastify. So you can do a lot more than just the beginning and the ending of that clip. And if you tune into the kind of the more advanced session in a couple of days, I will definitely show you more about how to do that. The last piece I would like to show you about Screencastify today is for those of you who do have a USB document camera. Now maybe it's just a USB webcam, and I've seen some very clever ways of teachers setting up their own kind of a document camera stand where the camera's above. But you know, if you happen to have a document camera, I've got this one is an IPEVO. It's IPEVO V4K. And if you're interested in a document camera, they do have sort of an office in Edmonton. IPEVO, even though they're an international company. Remind me later if you want. Amazon is not fulfilling orders to these IPEVO cameras right now. Amazon is focused on delivering medical supplies and such to various parts of the world. And so you can order directly from IPEVO if you want. Yeah, so I'm going to show you now how to use this document camera on my screen and then record that screen, my webcam, me talking about it as I go. Okay, so IPEVO makes a really cool, let's see, I'm just going to visit the IPEVO website. IPEVO, and the software is called IPEVO Visualizer. All right, so I'm just going to copy and paste this URL. I'll put it in the text chat. Now, there is a free download. If you're a Chrome user, you can just install it right now on the Chrome Web Store. But if you are a Mac, or if you want the Windows 10, Windows 7 version, you are welcome to use that instead. But I'm just going to do the Chrome version. I'll click download, and it takes me to the Chrome Web Store. Remember this? And you'll have that install button. And I've already got it installed, so I'm just going to launch it. Now, this is how it works. Hello, there's my webcam. I can, my document camera, I can resize this if I wish to, make it a little bit larger. And so now, using Screencastify, I can kind of have the best of all worlds. So let's say there's a book I'd like to read to my students, and I want them to see my face as well. I can just do I'll hit this Screencastify, and I'll record my desktop. I am going to embed my webcam, and I'm going to hit record. And just give me 1 second. My machine is just being a little bit fussy right now. Looks like it's kind of working that machine over quite a bit. Just give me 1 second, everybody. Sorry for the delay. Just close some of these tabs here. So let's say I want to do a screen recording. I did choose the V4K webcam. You can get it for $149 Canadian. Again, doesn't really matter what you choose. It's up to you. So let me just record this screen. I'm just going to stop my video for a second and try to record it in here. Sorry about that. We are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Please do not adjust your set. Anybody old enough to remember when they used to say that on TV? All right, so I'm going to start recording here. Give me 1 second. We should be ready to rock here. I'll bring up my people visualizer, and here is this book I can read to you, or I can use my document camera to write out some math, or do a diagram, or label a diagram, or anything I want in paper. And when I hit stop sharing, give it a second, and you may recall what happens in Screencastify. It will pop that window open, and what we should see is that there is a screen recording there, and because I have two screens, it moved my camera to the wrong side, unfortunately, but my webcam should appear there. Maybe I didn't turn it on properly. You'd have your webcam in there as well. So it's super easy to do that, and now I can copy that link, I can share it to Google Classroom, publish to Google or to YouTube, or I can even all sorts of stuff I can do with that. Download it. Look, even if I only want the sound, it'll let me export this as a sound file only. All right, so that is Screencastify in a nutshell. There are lots of great resources on the Screencastify website. And if you're really unsure of how I can now use this in creative ways, they have this 50 ways to use Screencastify in the classroom. It's an ebook that you can download. This is just a sample of it right here. It's a PDF document. It gives lots of great ideas for things to do, as well as videos to watch to support that. In the next more advanced Screencastify session that I do with Google Classroom, I'll go over a couple of these particular scenarios, and we'll go into some more details that way. But really, that is about all there is to Screencastify. You've installed it. All you do anytime you want to record is just hit that little Screencastify icon, decide what you want to record. Do you want the countdown? You want to capture the system audio, etc., and you hit record. Can you use your iPhone as a webcam? Not in Screencastify right here, but there are, I'm sure there are ways to mirror your phones or your iPads to your screen. And so depending on what you're doing, for example, if some of you are using Google Hangouts Meet, you may want to download Google Hangouts Meet onto your iPhone or your iPad or your Android tablet and just have that device join and then share the screen with that. So there are a couple of ways around this. There is software out there that will let you connect your webcam, your phone or whatnot to your computer screen. But that is fairly complex and wouldn't be considered something in a basic. But could you use any other webcam? Like right now I'm looking at you from the built-in webcam, but could you use any other document camera? Yes, you could. It's very easy. Just plug it in the USB, and then you can use that IPvo visualizer. Just have that webcam above in some way. I'm seeing people jerry rig a whole bunch of, taping stuff, or my friend Chris, who's another staff officer in professional development, he and his kids made a Lego version of a document camera holder. They just had a regular USB webcam that sits on their monitor. He just kind of rigged one up. So he had his built-in webcam, and then he used this IPEVO visualizer software. This thing can use anything as a camera. So you can select any webcam that you've plugged in your USB and use it on this visualizer. So the software is free. So that's it in a nutshell. For those of you who can't access the IPEVO in the web store. So what I did was I did a search I went to the IPEVO website. I know what you're saying. It sometimes did not show up. I just typed IPEVO visualizer, and then it may show this Chrome Web Store link right there. I don't know why it's not showing by default in the Chrome Web Store, but let me just copy and paste that link for you. All right, for those of you who want to take this a little bit further, Screencastify, they've got a really good help section too, by the way, Screencastify keyboard shortcuts. If you like this, master keyboard shortcuts, so that you can start and stop different things through your keyboard. Don't worry about this if you do not like this, but if you kind of like the idea of some keyboard shortcuts to get various things going, here's a handy way to do that. Finally, while this session is 45-minute recording, I'm just going to stop the recording here.